Welcome back, guys, to LBS Responds To episode number 81. So you guys, welcome back everyone to another episode of my weekly Q&A series I do here on this channel. I've been doing it for over 3 years now, and we're on currently episode number 81. And normally I was going to do these every other week, but last week did very well with over 5,000 views, the most viewed LBS Responds To ever. So I figured you guys might like this series a lot now, so let's get back into doing it weekly like I used to. So quite a few questions to pick from this video. If your question is not answered in today's video, leave it down below again, and there's a chance I'll answer it next week. You can answer anything from Lego related questions, Star Wars questions, or personal life questions. Basically any question you can think of has an opportunity for me to answer it. So without further ado, guys, let's get into the questions for this week. All right, guys, let's start off with number 1 from Collector Empire _KM. He says, this is a random question, but what are your top 5 favorite Lego pieces of all time? It could be because of color, usefulness, etc. And yeah, guys, so I think my top 5 have to be based off of the mocks I used to do and used to build, which being, you know, my top 5 pieces I would say would be the 4x4 plate, the 2x4 brick, the 2x2 tile, the 1x2x5 slope, and then also the 1x2 slope. I think those 5 pieces right there, I probably have the most of in my collection, and I think overall, for all the mocks I used to make, say back in 2014 till about 2019, all those 5 years, you know, I just basically always used those pieces. They were a staple for every mock I ever made, and I think in that turn, you know, I have a very strong kind of sentimental, you know, appreciation to those 5 parts right there. Next up, guys, we got Nomad X7, which basically asks, do you think we'll get another 332nd clone in another set next year, or basically any other time in the future? And my strong opinion, I don't think so, because when you think about it, you know, those 332nd clones were only in canon existence for such a short period of time. Those things were literally only made, what, in universe for, I think, 3 weeks, I want to say. Wasn't the Siege of Mandalore a little like over like 2 or 3 weeks or so? So for Lego to really have a reason to put them in another set, there's not really too much. You know, maybe if they were ever do another ATT, say like 3-4 years down the line, based off of Siege of Mandalore, but I feel like 332nds in battle packs, I just don't know. I really don't know if Lego will go back to the 332nd clone. You know, again, the only exclusive part on that guy is the helmet, which in turn, again, like if you guys can get those helmets for anywhere under like $10 each, I recommend just buying those helmets in bulk right now. You know, it's kind of hard to get them for that price, but it's still possible in a few of these other countries. And, you know, that's really the way to go, I feel, right now, because I'm willing to bet probably 20 bucks right now. I don't think we'll see a 332nd clone in another set for at least another 5 years. But watch, you know, they're going to come out with a mega battle pack with them next summer with like 20 of them in there. But I'll place that $20 bet that we will not see them anytime soon. So next up, guys, we got RJ's Lego Studio. He pretty much says, do you think Lego will ever lower its prices to the prices we used to have, or do you think it's going to keep on skyrocketing? So if we're talking about the Lego company right now, I got to say that the word skyrocketing is a pretty loose term right there, because I don't really think Lego is skyrocketing, you know, the official product on the first-hand market. But I don't think Lego will ever have to lower their prices again. I think, especially when, say, come 2022, you know, annual report of their revenue, if it is basically the exact same, if not even a little bit more than 2021, you know, Lego will have no reason to reduce the prices then, because basically as long as we keep on buying the sets at, you know, say their markup of like 10-15% they did this year, you know, Lego will have no reason just to say, you know, be nice to us and, you know, say drop a $160 set back down to $140. You know, like if they can make that extra $20, of course they will. I mean, it's a business. It is a, you know, a multi-million, you know, dollar business also. So, you know, all that little, you know, $10-15 here adds up for them. And, you know, and in turn, I think I'm fine with it. You know, if we actually see some change in the Lego company as a whole, you know, producing better products, you know, better molds, you know, actually taking more care of some of these sets in the next couple of years, and, you know, say that's all helped by the fact they made an extra $100 million by just upcharging us. You know, for the most part, you know, say if I gave them an extra 150 bucks that year, and, you know, they came out with another, you know, really good, you know, 10-15 products, I think that's personally worth it. I know a lot of people can't really be affording that, or, you know, which prices were down back to, you know, say 2010 prices, but I don't really think that's ever possible. And, you know, I think Lego will continue to stay at this price, if not just keep on going up, you know, 10% every couple of years. Next up, guys, we got Sergeant Zaff 03 right here. He says, for Lego Phase 2 clones, do you prefer the Clone Wars realistic or hybrid style? So I prefer the realistic. I think the 2014 212, you know, Phase 2 clones are probably the best Clone Troopers Lego's ever made, if we're talking about Phase 2 clones. You know, I definitely prefer them to go back to that style and just keep on redoing colors of that exact style. You know, the newer stuff, for what it's worth, I think it looks decent. Definitely not the best, but I think 2014 is definitely probably the peak of, you know, what a Phase 2 Lego Clone Trooper should look like from Lego themselves. Next up, guys, we got Nolan Hooley right here. He says, what Star Wars commander or captain do you think we'll get as a minifig next besides Rex? So I think really to answer that, we kind of have to look at, you know, where some of these clone commanders kind of fit in universe. And that's kind of tough, you know, because when you look at a lot of these clone commanders and captains, they have a bigger ship to kind of go with them. You know, there's a lot of times where Rex was on a gunship, you know, on an ATTE. You know, Commander Wolf with the Wolf Pack would look extra cool on a gunship, you know what I mean? Flying around in jetpacks next to a flying gunship, you know? Commander Bly in an AT-OT. So I feel like with all that in mind, guys, you know, all those are kind of summer wave sets. None of those will be coming out in, you know, if we were to get any of those next year, none of those will be coming out in January or March next year. So what I have to think about, though, is we got the fighter tank this year, April 1st. So if LEGO were to do another set in that, you know, stature of, like, say, a $40 clone set and include, you know, another Clone Legion in there, you know, what clone do you think we will honestly see? And the thing is, I gotta be honest, you know, I want to say Commander Bly, because I think out of, you know, the gunship and AT-OT, I think the gunship is more likely to get another playscale version. So I think if I had to bet anything, I think we'll get Commander Bly. And there's a little bit of rumor saying, you know, of course, the new 501st Clone Trooper Battle Pack will have, you know, micro binoculars and, you know, a custom piece for that, which then in turn can go on Commander Bly perfectly fine and make him look, you know, truly like Commander Bly. So I think Commander Bly, whether it's in April or the summer next year, I think we'll see Commander Bly next, you know, if it's not Captain Rex, you know, before that. So moving on, guys, to Javier Robles right here. He says, new to the channel, love the videos, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. He says, question, do you think you will ever get into Lego Harry Potter or other themes in the future? So, yes, you know, I've actually done other themes on the channel before. I think my top couple themes I do here on the channel right now would be Star Wars, Speed Champions, and then probably Marvel. I talk about Marvel a little bit on the channel here and there, and I definitely have room to expand on the channel. You know, I don't ever plan on doing too much, you know, pure content on these other themes, but, you know, for the most part, I have other videos coming out, you know, like the expensive minifigure series and the expensive set series. I've already got thumbnail and, you know, the actual list down for Marvel, DC, Harry Potter, and I believe that's it. I believe those three right now are the only ones I have down, but I want to start dabbling in a little bit. I think the big problem with all that type of stuff is it's not that I'm not passionate about some of those other themes. My knowledge is just not there. You know, as a in-universe, you know, Marvel, you know, I know the MCU and stuff like that, but, you know, Marvel comics, I've never really read any of them. Same with DC, you know, I've watched all the DC movies in the past, you know, 15, 20 years, but I really know nothing about DC, Marvel. I know nothing about Harry Potter. You know, I've only been able to watch the first, like, 4 movies. I didn't really find them too appealing. I've never watched Lord of the Rings. I've never watched The Hobbit. I've never watched Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's like, moving into some of those themes, I've never watched Indiana Jones. So all that type of stuff, you know, just not really my cup of tea right now, but definitely Marvel and DC in the future. I feel like I might dabble in a little bit more of, but Speed Champions is also one I'm very passionate about. Alright, guys, moving on to Victory 2 Veld right here. He says, after the release of the UCS Razor Crest, what do you think the next UCS set will be? So I'll go on record to say right here, guys, I think the next 2 UCS and MBS sets for next year, I think in May, you know, May 4th, we'll get another UCS B-Wing, and then I think come, you know, October, November of 2023, we will get an Ewok Village set or an Endor Bunker set. Those are my predictions right now. I'll stay by those. I really do think those are the next 2, you know, UCS and MBS sets. So let's see if I'm right, guys. Alright, guys, moving on to Minor Makes Mox right here. He says, non-LEGO question. I know you had talked about upgrading your Mustang. Will you try to get a 2024 Mustang? And if so, which one? So, yes, guys, as many of you guys know, I do have a Mustang right now. I'll throw up a picture of it. You know, I got it back in 2020, April 2020. And yes, I do plan on upgrading for it. You know, I've been thinking about upgrading for a while now as is, but I've always just told myself, like, look, I'll just wait till 2024, till the next generation. So, in my opinion, I think the S650, the new one, it looks pretty decent. I'll throw up a picture of it. Leave your thoughts down below. I think, I'll be honest, I think the S550 still looks better overall. The interior of the new one I'm not a big fan of, but you know, for being kind of one of the first people to have the 2024 Mustang, I'm pretty excited to get it since I will place an order for it right away. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I will be upgrading to a 2024 Mustang when they do come out, which hopefully we can start getting them actually in hand to say late 2023. Well, guys, I just checked the length of this video, and I'm going way over schedule. And like I said, there was a lot of questions last week, I'm not gonna lie. I think there's like 30, 40 questions, and you know, just quite frankly, I can't get to really more than like, say, 7 or 10 of them per video. So, and on that note, it's also pretty funny how, so again, this video was like 19 minutes of raw footage, cut down to just under 10 minutes now. So I'm gonna throw this in right here, guys. Leave your questions down below. The following week, you know, next week when I do another one of these, episode number 82, I'm gonna make it like 30 minutes long. So I'm gonna answer like 15, 20, 25 questions. So if I did not answer your question last week, leave it down below again. There's a very good chance I'll get to it. There are quite a few right now that I wish I could answer now, but again, I don't like making these videos longer than about 15 minutes or so. So sorry about that, guys. But so as always though, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, the last video in this series did astronomically well. I'm hoping for the same you know, results here. If you guys do like this series, be sure to leave a like down below, comment your question down below, and stay tuned for more, guys. So as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next one. Bye, guys, and stay safe.